Good morning, Cancer. This is Will from Will Cartomancy Tarot. Welcome back. This morning, I'd like to go on and give you a romance specific type reading, which will be valid until the end of this month. And to save down on some time, I've already shuffled my deck using the regular cards here. And I'm also adding a second layer of advice for you using Doreen's Virtues deck, the Romance Angel, as illustrated by this card there. Okay, so prior to getting into your reading, I like to first start off to make some general observation, with regards to your reading, prior to just getting into all of the cards specifically one by one. First, I like to go on and just examine your color predominance, or just take a suit assessment. And you have really a predominance of hearts, clubs, and spades in your reading. So your primary concern kind of pertain to a variety of issues. They are emotional, pretty much your emotional responses to a situation, be it affairs of the heart, your job or celebration, and perhaps a myriad of other events. And with the clubs connected, this shows that your world is full of movement, and that if you can focus on a particular goal, Cancer, or find a new solution to an old problem, you're going to certainly achieve happiness and fulfillment. It is really a time for you to kind of act independently and to kind of concentrate on personal goals. And with the spades also present, there might also be some bickering, arguing, and things kind of, really happening outside of your sphere of control. Um, and also looking there are really no diamonds present, other than the one that fell to the bottom of the deck, which is really not originally a part of your spread. So perhaps, Cancer, an injection of money into your situation will make it better. Or you might need to kind of assume a more practical approach and be realistic about your situation. Also interesting, you also don't have any court cards, so there's no leadership, it seems, in your relationship. Okay, now I just want to examine the number trend. I see that, the resulting numerical theme after adding and reducing your totals here is 4. So the reading shows security and stability. The message is to really try to continue on to persevere in manifesting your goals, but make sure that you are being realistic about matters, as the diamonds suggest that you need to be, because they're lacking in your reading. It says that something perpetuous is going to happen, therefore go for it. And since most of the prevailing numbers are mostly high, you are, it appears, at the final stages of your situation. Okay? Let's go on and look at your color interpretation. Since most of your cards there, you kind of have a balance. You have, um, well, actually, you do have 4 dark cards there, because remember, the one falling to the bottom really isn't a part of the original spread, and 2 red ones. So you can certainly expect that, some problems and some delays of all sorts, but ultimately success is, it's going to be assured, but it's just kind of blocked right now. Okay, you also have 2 8s there that shows there in your reading. So it shows a very brief, seductive type um, affair that you might have with someone, and it could be ill advised. So, and it shows that this could perhaps lead to some type of regret in the end, because you see this spade here. So be careful with that. Let's go on and get started and just examine your bottom card here. We have the 8 of diamonds falling there as indicated. I mean, that refers to an earth sign. It could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. I see the card as being that, the sun is in Virgo. So this card is all about, meticulousness. It's all about prudence and self-confidence, romance, and betterment, you guys. So this card shows some concern about a commitment that you feel that perhaps you're not being, you're kind of being forced somehow to make, because to you it doesn't really feel right, you know and also plausible. I kind of feel that you might not feel your relationship is kind of practical, and that you might be somehow deluding yourself. However, I feel that you're going to have several romantic opportunities. So therefore, the key is here that this card is kind of suggesting to you is to kind of wait for things to change. And also, since this is a card This card, tends to represent promising beginnings. Your love, with someone might be still in the beginning stages, and you are kind of taking or trying to take baby steps, or potentially trying to kind of move upon a new path together. Or you could be trying, um, perhaps, to give an old relationship a second go you know but this card assures that if you're willing to kind of put in the necessary effort and show your commitment, chances are you're going to get what you want you know let's go on and look at your current situation. We have the Ace of Hearts falling there, so that refers to a water sign. It could be a Pisces, a Cancer, or even a Scorpio. This card is all about it's all about love, joy, marriage, celebration, and even unquieted love and pleasure. It refers to summer, you guys, so it refers to the summer months, June through August. So this card says that while you are worried or perhaps troubled by a lover whom uh, perhaps you like a lot or want to be with, you're going to receive an unexpected call. It looks like from another admirer or love interest who might want to see you or might be interested in you. But of course, it seems that you're more leaning towards someone else. But this is also usually a nice card to see because it kind of brings hope and fulfillment to a relationship. And it really shows understanding, you guys, and trust between two people. And it even, for some of you, forebodes well for a pregnancy. As some of you may have recently discovered or soon will, perhaps this card shows that it brings about, with the assistance somehow of perhaps in vitro fertilization, since it represents really all kinds of birth. So for those of you who are single, love is, it looks like it's just around the corner. Let's move right along and look at what moves you internally. We have the Deuce of Spades there, so that refers to an air sign, and it could be an Aquarius, a Gemini, Libra. The moon is usually in Libra with this card, so this card is all about indecisiveness or uncertainty, um, equiposy, blocked feelings, and perhaps confusion. It says that you want to kind of move forward but have mixed emotions about a lover. You feel you'll never have that someone special, Cancer, and you're going to feel hopeful, and on the one hand, you're feeling hopeful on the one hand and worried on the other. This card kind of says take a good look within yourself, and if you are suspecting that your lover doesn't love you as he or she says he or she does, the problem might lie within you. Perhaps past hurts have caused you to feel that you are unworthy of love. And this card might also kind of denote that your heart may have frozen somehow and you've shut yourself down emotionally, Cancer. So you might also feel that all your relationships tend to start off okay and then they get stuck and it looks like no further progress, or they get stymied in some way. That I'm kind of feeling that you are kind of, feeling. So, maybe with this card, it's kind of suggesting that perhaps a heart to heart discussion might be in order for you, and kind of like removing these blocks or these emotional barriers that have hampered progress for you. Okay, so in any event, I kind of see you making a truce. It looks like with someone, or perhaps with whom that you've had a previous difficulties with, and this could possibly be a lover, or it could be someone in your family with this too. Let's move right along and kind of examine your lover's attitude towards you. And we have the Seven of Clubs falling there. So that refers to a fire sign. It could be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. I see this card as being Mars and Leo. So this card is all about independence. It's all about valor, or conflict, or and even perplexity, and kind of standing one's ground. This seven says that therefore uh, your lover kind of finds you a bit assertive or perhaps contentious a bit. He or she feels attacked somehow by you. So since this card represents usually favorable positions, and if you are kind of being a bit mean or kind of attacking your lover, or even perhaps exposing animosities, you might want to kind of chill, because this card kind of shows you might be in an inferior position. Okay, let's go on and look at your lover's attitude towards you. We have the Nine of Clubs. And that refers to a fire sign. That could be an Aries, a Leo, Sagittarius. And the moon is in Sagittarius with this card. So this card is all about self sufficiency. It's all about discipline, reclusiveness. So therefore, this card says that, you kind of see your lover as a bit introverted, one who kind of likes to kind of keep things concealed. This card asks you to kind of keep in mind that although you might have distrustful feelings when it comes to how your lover relates to you, it probably more than likely has little to do with you and more so to do with past hurts he or she has sustained and trying to recover from. So this card therefore urges you, Cancer, to, assume more patience and ask you to kind of take your lover pain seriously. And by doing so, I feel that it will help ignite more trust into your relationship. Also interesting, it appears that either two or more people are kind of competing for your love or your affection or potentially your lovers. Okay, let's go on and look at the challenge that I'm feeling that is going to be constantly or will crop up or that is kind of in your relationship. And we have the Eight of Hearts there. So that refers to a water sign. It could be a Scorpio, a Pisces, or a Cancer. And with this card, Saturn is certainly is in Pisces. So this card is all about rejection, abandonment, and really kind of moving on. There might be a lack of attention towards the development of this relationship, Cancer. And you might not understand how things got the way that they have gotten. There might be too many pent up pressures, and you might need to kind of face facts that perhaps you are better off simply being friends. Simply put, I'm feeling that this card is kind of urging you to kind of learn from your experiences in the past, and particularly those situations when I feel that you've done a lot for someone and you've ended up feeling used. So exercising this card is kind of telling you you're right to kind of just say no to people and walk away, and ask those considered more knowledgeable for advice prior to making any life um, changing situations, and try to learn how to kind of be still and commune with God, and during stressful periods that you feel that you're up against. Let's move right along and look at the oracles or look at possible advice and the likely outcome that I'm kind of seeing for you. We have the Ten of Spades there. And, Cancer with the Ten of Spades, that usually refers to an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. But this card usually certainly indicates unfinished business and endings. Usually endings that tend to kind of be very gloomy. So since this card is all about kind of getting clear about what you want in a relationship, it really urges you to get rid of people or habits even who are kind of interfering in your relationship. It might even urge some of you to put this chapter behind you and get out of an existing relationship. In short, sadly to say, things don't seem that they're going to go very smoothly as you envision with a relationship. And you're going to feel betrayed, perhaps due to deception and cheating, but you're going to try to put this behind you and you're going to move on, okay? So I went on and just went on and pulled on another card from Doreen's Virtues deck. I'm sorry. Um, yes, Doreen's Virtue deck. That's just to give you guys a bit more advice as it relates to your situation here. And the card that I flipped up is, the engagement card. So this card is all about ascending to a higher level. It's showing that, reassuring you that it's time to really just release these worries and the concerns that you've been kind of having as they relate romantically, and to know that you are being loved, and just really take some time out to really just care for yourself, and to know that a new love is on its way for you, or it's ascending, and you're going to experience love. Okay, so Cancer, this is what I have for you right now. I'm certainly going to be posting more interesting readings, and I certainly look forward to hearing your comments, as they relate to this reading. And as for all readings, this reading may not have resonated with everyone, but for those for you for whom this reading was meant, I certainly hope that it has provided food for thought. And if any of you wish to have a more personalized reading, you can certainly contact me at WAT61073 at gmail.com. Do enjoy your day, and I look forward to hearing your comments. Thank you.